I think half the world's population is people that have been hurt. And people don't put that together. And I'm hoping that my story will make them put that together.
Attachment disorder is a relationship disorder. The inability to give and receive affection. You know, I know many of you, when you first became adoptive parents, this was your thought, right? We're going to take this child into our home and we're going to rescue them. It's not our fault what happened to our children before they became our children at all. But now that they've been placed in our care, it's our responsibility to raise them up in the way that they ought to be. Just because a child has a past doesn't mean they're broken forever. They can heal from it.
My husband and I decided to adopt. There aren't very many people who are willing to adopt a child who doesn't have anywhere to go. And we felt like that would be, we just felt like that was a better fit for us. We heard about Faith and Jonah while we were out of town. Our friends called us. We rushed back home. We got all excited, and through the whole process of waiting and learning, we learned, that they were actually not 4 years old and 9 months old. They were actually 15 months old and 6 years old. We were given a little bit of history. Faith was put in the horrible position of having to raise herself and her brother in the middle of a meth lab. Child Protective Services had received a report of seeing Faith running around in the same clothes day after day and actually dragging her brother along with her from house to house in his car seat, asking people for food. When CPS arrived at the house to investigate, they found Jonah had been burned by a meth pipe and it was severely infected, and Faith was very dirty and hadn't eaten, and all of the adults were passed out, and they found that they had been manufacturing meth there and selling it. They figured out later that Faith and Jonah had been sleeping in the living room with a known pedophile. The first thing that, showed me that something just wasn't really right was that we would go to the playground and Faith would want to play with other kids, and the other kids would end up running and screaming away. I started keeping a closer eye, and I realized that she was actually a lot of the time, she was trying to get out of sight, and she was actually trying to be sexual with kids.
I had sex with my friends and told them not to tell. I was jealous because my birth mother gave the cats attention and she didn't give attention to me. So I wanted to get her back by taking the kittens one at a time and putting them under couch cushions and squishing them, killing them.
I want you to stop. Early on, she would get into these rages and she would just go absolutely out of control, running around the house, smashing things, hurting people. She just was very violent. I want you to stop.
I would wake up in the middle of the night before I had alarms on my door, and I would go over to my mom while she was sleeping, and I would get steak knives and hold it over her, and I would go real gently like that to her. And that was how she woke up, scared. And when she saw the knives over her, she's like, I wanted to make her scared and sad.
And particularly with her brother, she looked for opportunities to attack, and it just wasn't safe. I knew at that point that we needed serious help. We needed something more than just the therapists that we had found, we needed something very big. Nancy Thomas is an amazing therapeutic mom, and she became known as the lady who could handle the toughest of the toughest foster kids that had been through the most horrific trauma. A lot of the kids that she had in her house had killed people and pets. She's done amazing work with hundreds and hundreds of really, really tough kids with very uncertain futures.
That break in the attachment affects their conscience development, and they are different. They look very cute, they look very charming, they have to be parented differently or they're dangerous.
So when you first came here, how did you feel inside your heart?
Very angry.
Right, okay, and did you usually feel like that, or that was a new feeling, or what?
I usually felt like that
Okay. How did you let people know that you were angry?
by doing it.
By doing what?
My mad.
And what about the fish? How did you let everybody know you were mad?
Killing them.
Mm-hmm. And the dog?
Having sex with it.
Yeah, and?
Killing it.
If you were mad, instead of killing the fish to let people know you're mad or having sex with a dog, what would you do?
I would say I'm mad.
Right! That would be very good. So you'd let it out with your words.
Yeah, and not my actions.
One of the toughest kids that she had was a little girl named Beth.
Okay. And what are you trying to do to your brother?
Kill him.
Why do you want your brother to die?
Because I was hurt so bad, and I don't want to be around people.
Okay. Who else would you like to stick pins into?
Mommy and Daddy
What would you like to have happen to them?
die.
Are they afraid that you might hurt them?
Yep.
Would you, Beth?
Mm-hmm.
When would you do it?
Nighttime.
Okay. Why would you do nighttime?
Because I don't like them seeing me do it. But they can feel me do it.
Do you see a resemblance of me and that little girl? People tell me all the time that I look just like her, and that's because I was that little girl. And today I'm going to share with you how I came from being that little girl to who I am today.
Her family decided that they could not get past some of the things that Beth had done, so they decided that they didn't want to allow her to come home. And so Nancy adopted Beth.
But I feel good that I get to stay somewhere instead of staying in an institution.
Beth continued to get better, and Beth has become an amazing young woman that's a great role model for every kid who's been through a lot.
It is hard to have a child with attachment disorder in your home. It is a daily battle, I'll tell you what.
In some material that I ordered from Nancy Thomas, I saw a flyer about camp. It was described as a therapeutic experience for the entire family. And in that second, felt totally compelled that we had to go to camp. We just put everything, all of our hope and all of our energy into being able to go to camp.
Our children have bright minds, and when they use them to follow directions, to think about other people's feelings and what they need to be doing, they can heal.
Don't look at me, you fucking bitch, I'll kill you. Hey, 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 hey. Don't look at me, you fucking bitch! Don't look at me, I'll kill you!
Do you want to get on, Dolly? You feel comfortable?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What I want you to do is lay down on this horse, please. Hear the birds. Yeah. Okay, sit up, please. Oh, and who helped you with that difficult thing?
My mommy and my dad.
Yeah, what does that tell you? Yes, they love you. And do you think they can help you through difficult times, other difficult times? Yeah? Okay, choose a parent and get into those arms. Okay, choose into those arms. It's quite a switch from the beginning, eh? Yeah. It all has to do with her liking herself. And that's a huge revelation. And that's where we call equine facilitated mental health, because the horses really feel what's inside us and they mirror it. And this child, you know, through just reacting and acting with the horses, all of a sudden has made that revelation and that realization. So she's on her way to healing.
Tiger, look at your mom. Say, Mom, I need you.
Thank you.
I'm really tired. I'm really tired. Can you see your dad, Tiger? Can you see your dad? He's here. Say, Dad, I need you.
Dad, I need you.
Say, I'm right here. How you feeling? That's right. You're all surrounded with love, Tiger. Say it again. Let you see your dad's eyes. See his eyes. You see the love in his eyes?
I need
Oh, the ones I often dreamt of, with the notes in my ears, and the ones I often mimicked, with the notes on my finger.
When we got to camp, it was within the first 24 hours, Faith had a huge breakthrough. And we had been working with her at home at that point for a year and a half, and we had already seen a lot of progress. So find your heart and listen to it and tell me, you really like Miss Beth, right?
Yes.
You really look up to her, right?
Yes.
She's your mentor, kind of.
Yes.
Okay, so what kind of stuff do you want to talk to her about? Don't you have some stuff that you're just dying to know from her? It could be anything.
How long did it take you to heal?
It took me about a year to a year and a half. The first couple months were really difficult, and then there was this time when it just kind of clicked, you know, and I felt it, and I knew I'd felt it, but I really needed to experience it a little bit more, you know. It was kind of like I liked it, but I wasn't really sure.
If you liked it.
Yep,
if it was
exactly.
comfortable.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And it was definitely uncomfortable in the beginning. And so it was cool to experience it and be like, okay, I can't handle this. Okay, maybe I can. Okay, I can't handle this. And each time that I came back, it was longer, you know? And then it got to the point where I didn't want anything else but that.
I felt like I came to camp with this little girl who lived with me but was really this stranger, and I went home with a daughter. It was that intense of a change in her the week of camp. And so when we left camp, we felt compelled to offer it to other families. We felt like if this 1 week could offer this much hope and this much turnaround, that we had to be able to get that resource to other people who needed it. And together we started pooling our resources and building a network so we could start fundraising and getting everything that we needed to do ready so that we could have camp. About that same time, my grandparents passed away. Faith's grandmother was diagnosed with cancer, and her birth mom was about to be released from prison. So all that equaled more loss for a kid who had experienced nothing but loss until that point. So with all of that swirling around in her head, she started to become really fearful that she might lose Jay and I too. And we were the only safety net that she had. And if she had lost all of these other people, maybe we were next. And that started creating just this cycle of behavior and acting out that just became worse and worse and worse. At that point, I had a child in crisis, and I had the huge responsibility of putting on a camp for 15 other families in the same situation.
When I was just a little baby, my birth mother and my birth father were fighting, and my birth father had me in his arms, and they were fighting with me right there in one arm, and then she had pushed him. He fell, he dropped me, I smacked my head on a glass table. The glass broke and it fell on me, and I had broke my head because it was cement floor, and I had to have stitches. I remember that like something else. It really hurt. This one is my birth grandma. I drew her as a toilet. Because you can flush everything she says down the toilet. This is my birth mother. And right there it says, I chose to give you up today. She smokes so much. She has a lighter, and she has a cigarette lighted. And this one is my dad. He's a turtle. I feel kind of bad about that now. I had one of my mom. I drew her as a red devil with a torch. I drew my mom as a devil with the halo, but with the torch. With a red suit with the tie. With dinosaurs on it.
Jay's gonna come back and get tons of stuff, but I gotta go because I'm afraid the food people are gonna be here for us. Okay, I just have to have team handouts by 11 a.m. The whole time I was on the phone, you were quiet, and that was really great.
They're coming here asking for tools to make a difference in the life of a child that's torturing them. One child that's coming is so completely out of control, the pediatrician prescribed enough tranquilizers to conk the child out so they could transport the child here safely. That is sad. 7 years old. Charles Manson was born to a teenage mom, was too young to take care of him right, so the government, the United States government, does some amazing work. They yanked him right out of there. And he was moved from foster home to foster home to foster home in the foster care system in the United States of America. Last time I checked, it was $130,000 a year to warehouse a prisoner of this magnitude. It's probably more than that now. They have a hard time keeping roommates for Charles Manson. But at one point, he was a little boy named Charlie who needed help.
When families arrive to camp, they sit down with Nancy and talk about exactly why they're at camp and some of the issues that they have. And Nancy gets a full history on each child that's there, what they've been through, what therapy they've used, and all of that. From there, Nancy helps the families determine what color bandana their kids will wear. Children who are assigned a blue bandana are healthy children who are just, living in a family with a child that's struggling. Children that are assigned red bandanas are kids who need a little bit more help and support and safety and security, and children who could be dangerous and might need intervention.
Our children push people away so they don't feel so bad when they lose them.
Right.
I mean, the stuff she's doing has no purpose.
Right.
She's
It's
not
there's no
trying to get attention. She's not
trying to get food because she's feeling empty. I'm looking at all the little arguing, all the little behaviors, and it's all pushing away. She's pushing me away, and I'm not even a big part of her life.
The big difference that I see from where we were after we went to Canada camp, we were in this beautiful place, and we were able to work with her on conscience development, and I mean, she just became really connected and very loving, and we enjoyed her. Immediately after we got home,
hours after we left camp,
fell apart.
She's also got this fear. She's like, well, you know, Mom and Dad are going to die soon, and then I'm going to be forgotten.
And we've not had that connection back.
No.
If you like to stand up, we're going to do the Superman break. All right? Okay, so we got to get our Superman arms out here. Thank you, God, for giving us food. Thank you, God, for giving us food. For the foods that we eat and the friends that we meet. Thank you, God, for giving us food. Amen. All right. I know you've traveled a long way, many miles, many days, many weeks of preparation to get here. And we have spent many weeks of preparation as well. I'm excited to be here. We expect great things at this camp because we have great people here. The cool thing is, from this minute forward, you never have to say it again. You're just going to say, flight check. And you get to set the bar where you want it. Not sure how you want to do this. This is my son, Sweetums. I'm glad we're here at this camp. Sweetums, get your feet off the table. Sweetums, you know better than that. Yeah, get your napkin in your lap, Sweetums. Get your spoon out of your ear. You know better than that. That's not how we do at the table. You eat with nice manners now. That's nice. Sweetums, you know, I have taught you better than this. What is the matter with you? I'm going to call your father. That's what I'm going to do. Look at how gross you're eating. I have told you over and over. I'm not eating like this anymore. That's it! That's it!
It's dog poo. I know.
Let's don't put that on the
Don't
bracelet.
step in that.
What is that?
Nature bracelet. Find some things that we never saw before and stick them on the bracelet.
You still haven't found anything. Let me see. You found something yellow.
I think it'll stick.
Probably, but I'm not gonna try it. You try it. Where'd you get that?
Oh, how nice.
Where did you get that?
Garden.
5, 6, 7. Oh, that's that one. You're from New York. 4, 5, 6. Miss Sally, a whole collection of Miss Sally. Thank you. Dead? How do you find it?
There you go, you stick it on.
Beautiful flowers.
More flowers.
Yes, more flowers. Let's find more flowers.
All right, hop up, Faith. Let's do 10A plus jumping jacks. Okay, let me, you're all done? Okay. Come here. 6, 8. All right, wait right there for me. Right over there for you.
The main thing that she does that's really disturbing is all this lying. As time goes on, I spend time with her, my trust level for her just goes down and down and down. And so during this 5-week stretch that I was with him this time, I really got to the point where when she chats about this and that, other times will say, oh, you know, maybe so, maybe not. I wasn't there, so I don't know, and she understands why I say that, because if I fall for her lies, then that's gonna not help our relationship or help her trust for me.
Jonah, where's your sister been for the past 2 days?
She's sleeping in the lake. She's sleeping in the lake, starting to die. She's in flight check. A flight check is when a kid goes to the flight check room and gets interventions. Well, I'm smart and I got different techniques than other persons, so that's why I got the two wedding bandanas, because I got different techniques and I'm smart. So that's all.
Flight check. Somebody's gonna come right back for that car, okay? Okay.
There is something so beautiful inside of them, but it's like digging for gold, and it is hard work. It's hard work trying to find that. And just the thing is, we as parents have to change. We have to change ourselves, give ourselves the tools to help them. They can't help themselves.
It just comes in so many different shapes and sizes, just that fear of bonding. And they may hold your hand and they may hug your leg and they may do things that every other kid does, and it looks the part on the surface. But it, once again, it's those subtle things.
Hey, Mason. Hop up here and sit. Okay, you can do that as long as you need to. It's okay. When you get strong, then you tell my friend here what happened. It's okay. It's okay. We have hundreds of thousands of foster parents in the United States that are working day and night, 7 days a week, doing all they can to help a wounded child to heal. They're not being honored. They're not being appreciated. They're not even getting the help and the training that they need. When we stand beside them and honor and lift them, we are making our country a better place. The violence has got to stop. It's scary out there. They're killing each other in schools. They're stabbing each other in the parks for something fun to do. Those are the children we're raising, and we're trying to turn them around. Stand beside the parents, and they can do it.
What would you like to do to make it up to Harley and your mom? You need to do something for Harley and your mom because you're not ready. Okay. We'll come and get you later. I really thought he was ready, but he's not ready.
Gosh, good thing we're fast.
Yes. Way to go, Mr. Matt.
So he wasn't safe.
Calm down when you're take your time. If you're upset, take your time.
Tell her why you had to go to flight check. Look at Mom. Look at Mom. Come on, look at Mom. You did a good job telling Miss Susan. You were very honest. So what?
No, you didn't let mine rush you. Very good.
So, great job.
It'd be better if I could turn around. Jonah. Turn around.
Stop it, Jonah. I'm gonna do the other punch on you.
Okay, guys, come on. Follow Miss Susan.
faster. Come on, you can take bigger steps than that. Come on, a little faster. Keep up.
Are you guys ready?
Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Do not be overcome by evil. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Do not be overcome by
Great lengths you go to try to explain to people, and they don't understand. They're like, oh yeah, disturbed kids, no big deal. And then CPS gets called. With Jonah, I was really worried about him because, we talked about the jumping jacks and stuff and how he kind of can't do some of that stuff. And there are things that he really can't do. In a lot of ways, he is a blue bandana because he wants to please his mom, She said he's Jonah. He's just Jonah. He's different than the other kids. He's different. He's like one of a kind. So she said he gets to have a blue and a red. I felt in my heart that Faith really should get a red bandana, but I didn't want that for her because I knew that it was going to crush her to get a red bandana after working so hard to get the blue one. And that part of me that wants to be just a regular mom, I didn't want that for her. She doesn't want to work for it. Like, she doesn't want to do what she has to do. And Nancy was so dead on right about that she needed to get the red bandana again so that she would turn around and want to get the blue one. And I don't want her to have to work so hard for it. The way Nancy did it was so really beautiful with Faith because she goes, what do you think? The last year, do you think that you've been a red or a blue? And Faith just cried and she said, I've been a red.
Next scream and we're done.
Okay, don't you scream.
In the side of 8 legs, and the sound of screaming girls, and the side of black, black, black. Ground, ground, ground. Ground, ground, ground. Below, below me. Beneath, beneath me. Below, below me. Beneath, beneath me.
In class, Miss Nancy has been using me as an example because yesterday I wasn't really able to handle being with my family and she just assumed today was probably going to be the same. So I'm stuck with her. That does not sound exciting.
So to get back to your mom, You have to name 25 things that you're happy about that make you happy. What is
that's living. That's daily living. And I only have 4 more to go. I asked her if I could do it in the class while she was saying stuff for hours on end. And she said not right now. And then she, I don't know.
Come on, Faith, you have a great memory.
I know. I mean, yes, Miss Nancy. You told me, then I asked you.
No.
No.
Did you ask respectfully or were you rude?
I was rude.
Thank you. And do you get what you need or what you want? Do you get what you want when you're rude?
No, ma'am.
No.
Not at all.
Do you know how to ask respectfully? Do you usually ask respectfully? You know how to do it?
Yes, I do.
Right. So it's not like something new, you just learned to say please, right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
So are you nervous with Nancy around to say?
No. I actually feel more comfortable with her.
Oh, Faith.
Yes?
You just lied. When you lie, does it help you to get stronger?
No,
or does
it
it
makes
make
me
you weaker? When you say what you think people want to hear, it's not good for you. What's the truth?
No.
Do you feel better with me standing here or not? Thank you. So look at me. Say, Miss Nancy, I feel more nervous with you there. It's okay. Telling the truth about your feelings is a good thing. If that's true, you can say it. What makes that hard for you?
Because you're holding me accountable, to be honest.
Yes. Yes. Who should hold you accountable, to be honest?
Me.
Yes. I want you where?
To be with my family.
Yes, I do. I want you with your family. They are a way awesome, loving family. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to let you be accountable for your honesty or dishonesty. And you can choose to get stronger, or you can choose to get weaker and continue to tear your pants and stuff. Your choice.
Yes, Miss Nancy.
Got the Turning Point Camp. Hopefully you all got those when I hand them out.
Definitely concerned.
All right, because we're enjoying that beautiful campfire. So we'll start with the chorus, then we'll do verse 1, then we'll do the chorus back and forth like that. Okay, you ready? Turning, oh, we need it. G. Hey. Turning point, oh, turning point, that's what we really need. To turn our thinking all around, and then we will believe. Believe that we are special, believe that we're unique. Believe that we are good inside, and that's what we will think. Turning point, oh turning point, that's what we really need. To turn our thinking all around, and then we will believe. Believe that we are changed, believe that we'll get better. Believe that we can do what's right and earn our eagle feathers. Turning point, oh turning point, that's what we really need. To turn our thinking all around, and then we will believe. Believe that God created us, believe that we can trust, believe that we are loved enough to give our secrets up. Turning point, oh turning point, that's what we really need. To turn our thinking all around, and then we will believe. Believe that we can tell the truth, believe that we'll get strong. Believe that we can give our love right now and all day long. Oh, that was excellent.
I mean, really, Michelle, don't you ever just feel like what part of us has to give? We can't keep doing this. It's stressful with one rad child, and you've got 3 hard kids. Okay, you're like so stressed out.
Well, I just worry about her safety. My gosh, she runs off. She runs into the traffic. She run, and saying, Kayla, stop, doesn't seem to even, her ears won't even hear it, I don't think. Well, I said she would be the best poster child for fetal alcohol. If all the high school kids took her home for one day, they would never have sex ever again. They sure the heck would not drink and have sex. Everybody takes Kayla home for 4 hours. People would stop doing drugs and alcohol.
Rad moms start out really nice as normal, nice moms, and then wonder what has overtaken them, that they could ever even think about doing some of the things they've thought about doing, and even some of the things that the times they've lost their temper. I mean, it's not a happy thing to talk about. It's very, sorry. It's very shaming, because that's not who we started out to be. Someone who has a hard time loving other people. And it's really difficult sometimes when it's your own child and you can't love them. It's probably one of the most painful things. Yet I know that all the moms here feel that way too. They just want to know what's wrong with them. And you can be told a million times it's not you, it's the child. And it doesn't matter. You still feel like it's you.
Nancy and I, we've known parents who have killed their children, who have lost it, who have killed themselves, who have been put into mental hospitals, who have divorced, who have left their families, who have changed religions, who have changed sex. These kids are so difficult, and when parents do not take care of themselves, that the result is something tragic, and the parent usually loses themselves.
It's my birth mother. She was a volleyball coach, and she was really good at it. And she made straight A's while in school, and I wouldn't guess what has happened to make her change, but probably she saw one of her friends doing drugs. She did it. She got addicted to them. Then she started drinking alcohol, beer, and getting drunk with me. She's in jail right now for a year, but I've heard that 3 strikes and you're out. She's had to go to jail many times.
I'm not seeing where the changes are, sweetheart. That's what I'm saying. Do you see where changes are and I just don't see them? What?
I fixed them like you wanted to.
You fixed them? Okay, that's fabulous. Just tell me where you fixed them. Is there another piece of paper I'm missing? So you don't think Dad listening to my big feelings is pretty much the same as Dad taking out of his day to listen to my big feelings? Yeah, I think so. So there's a bunch of those, huh? But it's okay. You can take your time. And when you write lists, do you often write the same thing over and over? And so you've been corrected for that and taught how to do it right a number of times? Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't asking you to do something that was new.
She's been gone for 2 days. This is her second full day away. Nancy's put her to bed 2 nights in a row.
Good night, Dad. Good night, Miss Nancy. Good night, Miss Nancy.
I believe that after spending this time with Nancy, it's kind of like she's been brought back to reality and she's been humbled. Every interaction you have with her is false, and she can't sit still, and you just see her as just this bundled up, wound up ball of stress.
So you have a neatly done list of 25 things that are appropriate that you're thankful for your parents for doing for you.
Yes.
Really? So how long have you been with me this morning?
A long time.
Well, how many hours do you think it is?
If class is 3, 4, 5, no, 4.
4 hours. Well, it's good to know. I don't don't think I would have waited for 4 hours if I could get back to my family if I had a list of 25. I think I'd be so excited about it, I'd say right before the 4 hours started, hey, I have a list of 25, would you like to read it?
Some grandparents passed away, and I think that loss is reminding her of the old loss. And so if those people are dying, maybe I might die, and maybe she might be left alone.
There's an airplane. Yeah. Very nice.
And the reason Nancy's keeping her for little things is because she does know. And what's happening at home is that it's thousands and thousands of little things that add up to her being generally very disrespectful.
We're gonna put it in there. Okay, move back a little bit. Right over here, Harley. Okay, we're gonna pop it up.
I think what's so difficult about this for every family here is that we are families who are totally driven by and run by our children's pain. It's really difficult to, not go up to her and not hear what she has to say and not interact with her at all. And it's very painful for me, her missing all of this fun. It's like her favorite part, and she's missing it.
When their eyes meet your eyes, the caramels go in.
Close my eyes. You need to open your eyes and look at Mommy's eyes. No, you need to open your eyes. Addie, you need to look at Mommy's eyes. I love your eyes. Addison. Addison.
I don't feel weird about it. I don't have to feel like, oh man, what's everybody? I don't care because everybody else feels the same way I do. So it just makes it a little easier to tolerate. And when somebody else's child is going through the same issue, it's just like, well, yeah, I feel for the parent because we're there. I understand.
So the dads are going to sit with their back up against the wall, holding the moms. Just tell each other 5 things you love about what you've done in the last few days. Okay. 5 things she's, so just modify it so that it works for you. The wife's head needs to be kind of in the elbows so you can make eye contact, all right, so you can see each other's eyes. I know, it's real comfy in here. We're making our eagle nest. You find a good wife and then you lose her. She's underneath the table somewhere. I want you to start, husbands, by telling your wives 5 things about her that made you choose her for your lifetime partner. And be careful, don't say stuff like, you used to be beautiful, okay? You're gonna be in trouble.
She lay beside me like a branch from a tender willow tree. I was as still as still as a river could be. When a rococo zephyr swept over her and me. She watched the water ripple, 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 ripple light.
You have almost an hour to yourselves while the team keeps your children. You can go for a walk. You can go back to your cabins and just have some time alone. Whatever you want, whatever will fill you up. Don't take too long because the team's had them all morning and they're all appreciating and missing you a lot. You guys are beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I tried to look my best, a finch in wild men vest. A fiercer force had wrenched her from where she used.
I am just very thankful. I've seen a lot of wonderful things come out of this group already. From 2 hours of Austin kicking and screaming and terrorizing the staff to turning it around in just a few minutes. And so I am delighted. Well worth the trip. And very wonderful to meet all of you.
So are you ready to be my son?
Yes.
I'm so excited. So you ready to call me Mom now?
Yes.
Are you sure you're ready for that? It's a big step.
Yes.
Okay, I would love that, Dathan. Okay?
Okay.
All right, you want to give it a try?
Yes.
Okay, try it. Want me to count to 3?
Yes.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. You say it? Who am I?
Mommy.
There, you did it. Good job. Awesome. Okay? Wasn't so bad?
No.
It's gonna be okay?
Yes.
You ready to paint?
Yes.
Let's do it. Give me 5.
Can you take 10 deep breaths for me? I'll count with you.
Right in my
1.
Oh no, my stool's black. Too big box.
It's okay. We'll hold on.
Yeah. Kyler, if you do 10 deep breaths with us, maybe we can walk over to the pond and see a turtle. Okay? 10. We'll do 10 of them. Wait, count with
Gotta
me.
stand up. Stand up.
Stand up. That's 1. 2.
Ooh, I can feel it.
Yeah, good job.
Do it again. 1. Good.
There's
2.
2. 3.
3.
One more. Very
more.
strong.
4.
Come back down. There you go.
Ah.
All right.
There you go. Okay, give me your paw. Good job. All right, now we gotta find Kayla. So what are you gonna say when you give that to Kayla? Right, and then what are you gonna say? That's good. That's nice. Okay. So you're gonna share. Do you see her?
Hey, I'm sorry that I didn't
I'm
let
gonna
you.
say, excuse me, Kayla.
Excuse me, Kayla. Huh?
Okay, go ahead and tell her.
I'm sorry that I didn't want to play with the balloon. You can play with it. I was just a little freaked out about you popping it.
Say thank you.
Toot.
How's it feel, Jonah?
Good.
You know, I think the biggest change has really been in me, in that I need to bring back more of the fun into our house. I've been very conscious of making things structured so that they know exactly where the boundaries are. Sometimes I forget to have fun with them.
Got it? Good job, Tom.
I think that both boys, through flight check and through different techniques that I have been learning this week, have started to gain a little more respect for me. I have been trying to teach them, and I think their love for me has started to grow.
Come on, Faith. You're strong enough. You have the courage. You a blue bandana or a red bandana? What are you really? What? Say it louder. Come on. Say it louder. What's inside of you, Faith? A red bandana, a sick little girl who can't do it right yet? Or a blue bandana who can do it right?
You're scared of losing me?
I know. This is not red bandana behavior. This is blue bandana behavior. You got your ear on your mom's heart? What's it saying? What do you hear? It's not the Beach Boys. It's not ABBA. It's music only your mom makes for you. Sing, I love, I love, I love, I love, I love. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Does it sound wimpy or powerful?
Powerful.
You bet. That's a powerful heart. Does it sound like it's gonna stop? No, it's a powerful heart. It's not stopping. It's going. It's your mom's engine. She has a powerful engine.
Just watch for ant hills so you're not standing in an ant hill. So we're gonna line up here, we're going that way.
First, there was me and you. Then they came 2 by 2, turning life into a zoo. Then all of a sudden, we turned into 7. Oh my heavens, I hope we don't hit 11.
Did you do it?
Yes.
Do it again.
Ooh.
We have to keep reminding ourselves, me personally, I remind myself daily that when I'm just ready to, why did we do this and that sort of thing, and I'm ready to, feel like, I made a huge mistake, I got to remind myself, nope, this is the job that I was given. And
we rely on each other a lot, and
yes,
thankfully we don't have
strong
a day
marriage
like that when we're both down.
Right.
As all of the children that are dealing with reactive attachment, and so many times they're so secluded from activities, from friends, from doing any of the fun, normal things like going to bowling alleys, skating rinks, swimming pools. We're not able to do those things because of the expectations of typical parenting. And it's not fair to our children. Our children want to do those things too. And I think everybody needs to have more compassion and a little bit more understanding before they judge.
Ready, go.
Up, in, out, over, down, pull back, push down. Up, in, out, over, down, pull back, push down. So.
Very good. To beaver tree. Let's all climb the beaver tree.
It always comes down to your own intuition, your own judgment, and your own ability to parent your child. And when you're able to take tools that you've learned and discern when is the right time to use them, that's when kids make breakthroughs. That's when kids make breakthroughs. And when you're able to know that just because my child has a breakthrough, it doesn't mean that they're fixed forever. It means they're still going to struggle with things and they're still going to have a hard time, but they've gotten somewhere and you've become closer and you've been able to be a family. And that's what, to me, this camp gives these parents, is the ability to actually be a family, to get the kind of support from others that they should be getting in their own communities and in their own families, but they're not getting it.
Well, first of all, weren't you a red bandana once?
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about you. Everyone's saying, wow, he changed from red to blue.
I changed last year, but I was acting more like a red bandana than a blue.
We have a girl at our school that got sick and she had to have part of her brain taken out, and she would have seizures nonstop. They had to cut her hair off, and she has to have leg brace on her right leg. But like right after she got out of the hospital, she made an A on her first spelling test. Right after she got out of the hospital.
What it's like being a blue bandana now?
You get more privileges. You get to do more exciting stuff, and you get to be with your family.
As Faith leaves her second camp, I think even she knows that she's still going to have a lot of struggling to do. She's still got a lot of healing to come. But I think she's ready, and I think she's at a place now where she has hope for her future and that she's willing to face what might come next. So I think Faith is one step closer to being able to face the pain that she feels inside instead of hiding it and avoiding it. And she's feeling ready to look at it and figure out what is it that's stopping her from living the life she wants to live. For a long, long time, Faith felt compelled to confront and talk to Andrea, her birth mom, about her feelings and just the situation with her removal from her home. And it just didn't go away. That was something that was a need in her that kept coming up and kept coming up. And finally, at one point, my husband and I just kind of looked at each other and said, you know, at some point we become the people who keep her from doing this thing that she really, really feels is important for her to do. And so we started to prepare for Faith to enter into the next big phase of healing and speaking to and confronting her birth mom. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about each one, and then you're going to write it. Okay? So what do you want to tell her about that one?
That she chose drugs over me.
Okay, that's good. So write it like a sentence so you'll know so you'll remember exactly. Because you might be nervous, and if you're nervous, you might forget what you're saying.
You replaced me with a crazy cat.
Exclamation point.
Oh.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Nervous and happy.
How do you think she's feeling?
Nervous and happy.
Do you know what you're going to say to her?
Yes.
What do you think your mom's thinking?
That she only wants me to be safe, but she wants me to be happy too.
What do you need?
A hug. Why did you choose to leave me?
Because I couldn't give you what I wanted you to have.
What was that?
Stability.
I'm happy that you're getting better.
To show you that you can still mess up and still be okay. You just can't quit trying.
When I was a baby, people keep telling me that either you or Jeremy dropped me on my head.
I can say I may have done a lot of things I would never drop you. Never drop.
Reasons I am mad at you. You were never responsible to anybody. You never kept me safe from bad people.
True.
Making me feel bad and that people don't like me and that they will leave me like you did.
That's not true. That's just, I'm stupid. I made some mistakes. It's not you. Trust me, it's so not you.
You chose drugs over me, not paying attention to me when I was a baby and inside your stomach you hurt my brain. Teaching me I could not trust adults. Teaching me to hurt others before they hurt me. Making me think I'm not good enough to love. Doing bad things that hurt me, broke my heart, and sadly my trust too. Having a hard life with my brother and anybody else. You were never there for me. You didn't take care of me. You replaced me with a crazy cat. I forgive you. I hope you get better and be safe. No more drugs, but if you do, you can't hurt me anymore. Here's what you missed. Me growing up, my first day of school, my math medal.
I was there for the first day of school. I was like, come on.
You missed me playing keyboard and piano, becoming a young lady, fun playing and mother and daughter. Knowing me, healing and fixing my life with Jonah, trust in being my mother. But in the end, he made a great choice. And because of that last choice that you made, I'm happy.
Because you're right there, I told you that. I mean that, I meant that then, I meant it, still mean it. I just couldn't do everything.
Precious. No, that's not. Bye.
I love you. Always, always, and forever.
Yes.
What's that cigarette around the room?
She needed that.
What?
She needed that. I, for one, did not need it.
That you gotta have faith to have hope and hope to have faith. Because they're both two untangible things that you just believe in.
She got all fake and she pretended to cry. She, like, made up excuses for everything that she had done.
She's sad about
Doing those things.
About doing drugs or just giving you up?
I think sad in, like, reality.
I don't know if she pretended. She's probably truly regretful for some of the stuff she did.
She almost burned me with her own cigarette yesterday.
But just trying to give you a hug?
Yeah. To see, I threw a trick question at Andrea to see if she was lying about anything, which she was. I asked her if it was her or Jeremy who had dropped me on my head, and I knew the truth because I heard the story from a lot of different people, and it was her, and I saw pictures of her before she dropped me, and she lied.
Typically what happens with memories is we fill things in.
Yeah.
We don't really remember everything. She may not remember everything, and it's not that she's intentionally lying to you. She's remembering it the way that she remembers it. You're a different kid now than you would have been had you stayed with Andrea. And hopefully you like this kid better than you like that kid. I wish that you were this kid more often.
Me too.
Because there are plenty of times that you spend a great deal of your time lying to me and your mom. And we're not throwing trick questions at you. And that's the thing I try to tell you about fear and anger. My parents didn't help me process those kinds of feelings.
No.
I'm only learning how to do that within the last 10 years. You've got plenty of time to work on this stuff. Mom's really good at working through all this stuff.
Yeah.
She's a great resource for you. You should use that instead of fight it.
Yes.
She's really, really strong. She's one of the reasons why you're still alive right now and doing as well as you are. Treat her with some respect. Come here.
Seven shooting stars in one night. The water and sand in our eyesight. The rocks in our hands preparing for flight. The lack of sleeping, but it's alright. And it's alright. rocks in our hands.